Good morning. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Happy Wednesday. I hope all of you are doing great as we get settled in here. Welcome to Homebuilt Workshop. Welcome to Wednesday Live. Right on. And a few of you have beat me. First off, I want to make sure, can you guys hear me okay? I'm trying something different today, but I need to know if you can hear me. So if everything sounds okay, let me know. Otherwise, I can revert to our previous setup. Sam says we hear you. Right on, right on. Good. That's the main thing I wanted to get out of the way. Sam says, hello everyone. Advertisements show when the stream starts. Yep, that's kind of what they do. Dallo's here. Dallo says, good Wednesday. Good Wednesday to you, Dallo. Right on. Welcome, welcome. Cool. All right, so trying a new thing here. I got one of these little like lavalier microphone thingies, trying to improve the viewing experience for all of you. So let me know if the sound is better, worse, the same. Yeah. I don't know. So let me know if there is any noticeable improvement. Donna's here. Donna says good morning. Good morning, Donna. How are you doing? How are things going in your neck of the woods? Right on. And Robert's here. Robert says hello, everyone. Good morning, Robert. How are you today? Got my coffee, of course, and we're gonna settle in and hang out. We'll get to project updates and all that sort of thing here shortly. Robert says, sound is good, just had to turn up the volume. Okay, so is it lower than it normally is? I'm using a little wireless deal, and I need to know that if I need to turn up the gain on it or not. We can surely do that if we need to. Just trying to get everything sorted out. So Robert says it's just a little. So hang on here. Let me see if I can do this without... let's see. We'll bring that up just a little. It should be getting louder now. If it's too loud, let me know. That should be pretty good right there, I think. Everything looks good on the little meter thing. I'm using this little DJI wireless thing. It's got some adapters. You can use it for you can mount it on your camera, which is what I've been experimenting with, and run the output to the mic input on the camera. Or it also has some adapters you can plug it into, like, what is that, USB-C? Or, what is this? Lightning. This is the lightning cable. It won't fit in the end of the iPad when I have it in this little mount here. So I just got a extension cable here. But so far, so good. We got little, there's our level there. So it seems like it's working okay. So I'm just trying to figure out where I need to have everything set for different applications. It seems like when I run it into the camera, I have to drop the level, the gain on the receiver, because it wants to clip. So apparently when I have it here in the iPad, I can have it set normal and everything's okay. So I'm going to be kind of monitoring that, but I want your feedback as we kind of move along. As far as sound quality and levels and all that sort of thing, as I figure out some new technology. Okay, let's see here. Sempak and Rick is here. Rick says, good morning, Jeff. Been busy and unable to attend the lives. Today I might have to leave early to take the car in for servicing. Busy making some salt cellars for a customer. Right on. That's awesome, Rick. And good morning to you. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I had to take mine in a couple weeks ago for just a couple of little repairs. I say little repairs. The bill wasn't little, but the repairs were. It's crazy how much stuff like that costs these days. Back in my day. Rick says, I hear you fine. Right on. Sam says, others have them. Stay close to the phone, laptop that's Bluetooth connected as they don't go too far. These little guys are not Bluetooth. This particular one. It is wired. It transmits wireless. I don't think it's a Bluetooth connection between sorry, I just tapped that. You probably heard that. Between the transmitter and the receiver. I think it's like a standard wireless type. I don't know what that is. I don't think it's Bluetooth. I haven't had to link anything Bluetooth. Harry Dude's here. Harry Dude says, what's up? Good morning, afternoon, evening. Right on, Harry Dude. How are you doing this fine morning for you? Early morning. Right on. Robert says, just a little. Oh, for the volume, yeah. And I did turn it up. He says, that's good. Right on. Donna says, started a new job inspecting eggs. Oh, wow, at an egg plant facility, something? That sounds cool. Right on. Congrats on the new job. Pretty cool. Rick says, all good? Let's see. KPS says, hey, man, what's going on, KPS? I think it's KPS. Right on. What are you up to this Wednesday? Sam says, might be Wi-Fi connected. No, it is not that either. Sorry, I'm debunking them all. It's just a standard wireless. I don't know what, I forget the frequency. Harry Dude may know off the top of his head that wireless microphones and stuff run off of. Is it not 2.4 maybe? I don't know. It's just a standard wireless microphone deal. Alrighty. So what are you all working on? Sam says UHF. It might be. Or VHF. One of those, I think it is, yes. I'd have to look up all the specs. I don't remember. I don't think I have the... Yeah, I don't have the information in there. So far, I've been liking this DJI wireless mic deal. I've been playing around with it. I got a video coming out this weekend where I'm using it, and I think that I like the audio that comes off of it. So I'm going to try to use it more often. So yeah, what are you guys working on? What projects are on your workbench? We'll get to mine here shortly. You may have been able to tell in the thumbnail, but it wasn't a guitar, that's for sure. We'll get to that. Robert says to Donna, oh, my oldest sister did the same job for about a year before she finally retired. Nice. KPS says, still at work. I'm working late tonight, sadly. Right on. I hope your work night is going good. Donna says to Robert, I love it. Harry Dude says, sounds like a standard RF microphone, usually UHF 518 to 694 or 820 or above. Some systems use a 2.4, but I haven't had much luck with them. RF congestion. Yeah, I can't remember what it runs off of, but yes, that's exactly what it is. It's just your standard wireless microphone. It's not Bluetooth. It's not Wi-Fi. It's not anything like that. Just, your normal wireless microphone deal. I imagine it's the same pretty much. I have a wireless system for my guitars that I used to, I haven't used it in quite a while, but it's just a standard wireless transmitter, UHF, something like that. I don't think my guitar one's 2.4, but I don't think so. I think it's your regular UHF. Yes, thanks, Harry Dude. I knew you could come in when I needed some numbers there. Right on. Harry Dude, what are you working on? What kind of projects are you fighting with these days? Right on. Alrighty. Well, update on the Acoustic. You may have seen my post a few days ago. I've got the finish sprayed on it, and it is now hanging up in the house where it can stay warm until the finish cures. You know, I should have grabbed it and brought it out so you guys could have a look at it, but it's kind of a nice feeling to be at that step where the finish is on and sprayed, and really there's nothing I can do with it at the moment for, I don't know, at least another several days anyway. But yeah, it's kind of just hanging up. The finish is curing. The next thing that I'm going to be doing on that build is level sanding and getting the finish buffed out, and then we can start really putting it together. Excuse me. So yeah, that's the update on the Acoustic. Pretty much everything, it's at a standstill at the moment, and which is kind of cool because it's given me a chance to get a couple other things knocked out, which is what I've been working on. This weekend I've got a video that I filmed a couple days ago, just some, you know, kind of more of a talking head kind of video, just talking about some things that I've been seeing and stuff like that. So that should stir the pot, I think. So got that done, got that uploaded yesterday, and then started on another project. Like I think I mentioned it, that I got to do some leather working, and that's what I've been working on. I'll show you here, kind of what I've been up to. Harry Dude says, right now working on a digital multi-core stage box, swapping power supplies. Right on. Minin says, hey there. Hey there, Minin. Good morning. How are you doing this fine Wednesday? So yeah, I've been doing some leather work. I mentioned that, I think I mentioned it last week, that I need to make some new, a new belt for my daughter, for her horse show stuff. And I got these knocked out yesterday. Just a simple belt, a little bit of shiny bits on there. Really kind of fun to be doing something different for a little while. Have leather dye on my fingers, even though I had a glove on. I don't know how that happens. I actually made two of these guys. This one, they're both basically the same, but this one is made to fit one of her fancy belt buckles that she won. Just has basically the same pattern, a little bit more spots on there. This one she'll be able to use in certain classes of the horse shows that she's in. So she'll wear this one when she needs a little more bling, and then she can swap it out to the regular one. A lot of times they require you, depending on what you're wearing, to have a belt with a buckle. So, but these buckles are so big that she can't really use it at the moment when she's riding. So some of the ground classes she's in, she'll wear this, and yeah, I think they turned out pretty good. This is the pattern. I let her decide what she wanted on there, and this is what she decided. So that's what she's getting. So yeah, this one all I have to do is get it oiled. The other one, this one's done. It's oiled, ready to go. This one just needs a coat of oil because I just finished up this end this morning. But yeah, should be pretty cool. Gonna put that together in a video, making these. Dallas says champion belt. It is a champion belt right there. Champion. She's got two of these now. Rick says fancy buckle. Yes, they are super cool. They're just big for her size at the moment. So that's why she'll be able to swap these out. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on. Pretty much all day yesterday I was working on these, putting these together. It's got some little turquoise rivets in there and some shiny spots just to give it a little extra sparkle. But it's going to match some of the clothes that she has. She's got some that have these little turquoise things on there, so it'll kind of match, and yeah, pretty fun. Will's here. Will says, I'm building a keepsake box for my mom. Right on, Will. What materials are you using? What are you building the box out of? I always like to know what kind of woods and things people are using. I didn't turn this off. I don't want this thing ringing off while we're hanging out. There we go. Oh, look at that. It just did. As soon as I hit the silent button, a notification came in. Right on. Alrighty, so let's see. And Rick, you said you were building some salt cellars. What materials are you using for those as well? I should build another one. The last one I made, I gave away as a gift. So I maybe I ought to make another one of those. Will says walnut and curly maple. Ooh, that is a fantastic combination. That's one of my favorite contrasting materials. Walnut and maple just look so good together. That's awesome. Sam says, do you use cordless bench saws? No, I don't have any cordless saws. I've thought about it. But at the moment, no, I don't have any cordless saws. I used to have a cordless Sawzall type saw, not an official Sawzall. But yeah, right now I don't have any cordless. Cordless? I can't even talk. Need more coffee. But yeah, I've been thinking about it a little bit. I kind of would like to get at some point maybe a track saw, a cordless track saw. I think would be cool. But I don't know. I think another cordless Sawzall type deal. What do they call those? I know the Sawzall is the brand, or the name, the Milwaukee brand. What is that called? I can't remember what they call them now, but. Rick says, salt cellars and charcuterie boards for Christmas. Customer wanted 5 walnut. Right on. Nice. Yeah, I gotta ponder a couple Christmas things too and see if there's something I can put together. Robert says, I watched the big units build this morning. He was having to warm up his garage while he was spraying the nitro. Sprayed 15 coats of clear after spraying a couple of white paint. Right on. Yeah, it's that time of year, at least here anyway, where those mornings are pretty chilly. I had to run the heat in here this morning just to, so I wouldn't have to be all bundled up. And yeah, actually almost every morning now, I have to run the heat. We've been getting temperatures now where once you get it warmed up, it stays pretty decent. But it won't be long that I'm going to have to run it a good chunk of the day, which I'm not looking forward to that. But yeah, when I was spraying the clear on the guitar, I made sure that it was good and warmed up in here. Not too warm, because you don't want it to dry quite so fast, but it's got to be in that. The stuff I like to spray right around that 70-degree mark if I can. It seems to be a pretty good temperature. A lot of the finishes seem to have recommendations in that range. John says, reciprocating saw. Yes. Yes, a reciprocating saw. That's it. That's the word I couldn't think of. Thanks, John. That's exactly it. Sam says you could do with a thicknesser machine. I have a planer, if that's what you're talking about, or thicknesser. I don't use it all that often. because it's not a great one, but it does work, especially if I keep the blades replaced when I need to. The one that I have, you know, it's just one of those little lunchbox type deals. I get a lot of snipe on the ends, you know, where you get that little wave about 2.5, 3 inches in. But I mean, it works when I need it for stuff. And then I usually just send it through the drum sander to take that snipe out, or just cut it off, you know, if I can afford to get rid of that last few inches. But yeah, it is something that I like having. I wish I had room for a larger one, a more robust model, but I don't, so it works for now. Senpakin says, I think I told you I made a couple of Japanese fighting swords and sheaths, all wood, for 2 of the grandsons. Yeah, you did. You mentioned that, and that sounds cool. That's awesome. Rick says Sawzall is what I call it. Yes, that's, I think probably the majority of us call it a Sawzall, but Sawzall technically is the name for the Milwaukee version of that tool. And I feel like they kind of came out with that first. Maybe not first, but they were the first one that I'm aware of. The first that I've ever used was a corded Milwaukee one, and this was, you know, years ago. And it was called a Sawzall. And I think we've sort of adopted that as kind of the universal name. Adana says, any upcoming shows? Not at the moment. I imagine come March or so, excuse me, that the show in Denver will be back again. I haven't seen an official date or anything yet, but I've already started thinking, you know, what I want to do for that show. So as soon as I get this acoustic done, I'm probably going to start on maybe 1 or 2 new guitar builds that I can hopefully take to that show. You know, we've got several months. It shouldn't be a problem. But I think that that's probably the next one. It's really the only one that I'm aware of around here. You know, I don't want to travel super long ways to hit some shows, although it wouldn't be out of the question. But the only one that I'm aware of is coming up, I think, in March of next year. Sam says, a thicknesser is like a double-sided planer. Really? A double-sided planer? Now that sounds cool. That's not what I was thinking of. I was thinking of a planer. But wow, yeah, that sounds pretty neat. I might have to look into that. Not that I have space for it, but it sounds like a cool tool. Dastardly Dave's here. Dave says, sup all. What's up, Dave? How are you doing this fine Wednesday morning? Harry Dude says, we Aussies call it a reciprocating saw. We don't tend to use a brand name as a generic name for a device. Yeah, see, I don't know why we do that. That's what it is. It's a reciprocating saw. But a lot of us tend to just call it a Sawzall. I don't know why. Again, because maybe, you know, that was like the first, you know, like the first one to really hit the market that I'm aware of. And we all have experience with that particular model or brand. But yeah, I don't know why that is. The Sawzall is the model name for the Milwaukee brand. It's not a, you know, it's not the generic term, although we've made it a generic term. I don't know why that is. Kind of weird. It's like when you're talking about a miter saw, right? You say a miter saw, everyone knows what a miter saw is, but we don't call it what's the brand name? The Glide, the Bosch Glide, right? It's a sliding miter saw. We don't say, oh yeah, I'm just going to use the Glide to cut it down. I don't know why Sawzall has kind of been adopted as the general term for a reciprocating saw. Who knows? Who knows? Sam says, Jeff's not had his strong coffee yet. I'm working on it, buddy. I'm working on it. And Wayne's here. Wayne says, Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, Wayne. How are you doing this fine Wednesday? Robert says, if you could put a helical cutter head on the planer, it might help. Some planers, the cutter head can be switched out. I think they cut smoother for figured woods. You are 100% correct. I don't think there's a kit for mine. Like I said, mine's kind of a pretty low-end unit. Maybe they do. I don't know. I'd have to do some research. But I've seen those helical head kits, and it would be pretty cool. I also heard that they're quite a bit quieter, which would be kind of nice. Because man, mine is so loud. It's got the the straight knives. It is super loud. Definitely got to wear hearing protection. Sempakin says, I thought Sawzall was just a generic name. I think mine's a DeWalt. No, it's not a generic name. We've adopted it as a generic name, but it is the model name, I think, for the brand Milwaukee. We just somehow convert that into the generic name. I don't know why. I heard dude says Xerox. Yes, that's another good one. That's another one, yeah. It's just become a generic name. I gotta go Xerox this. Although you don't, at least I haven't heard that as much anymore, but yeah, that's another one. And we got a super chat from Sam. Right on, Sam. Sam says, Mountain Dew for the legend. Oh man, I haven't had a Mountain Dew in years. Now I'm gonna have to go get one. Right on, Sam, thank you. Thank you so much, I appreciate that. You are awesome. You're legend. You. Thank you. Look at this. My hands are all yellow from leather dye. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. I'm going to have to go get a Mountain Dew. Will says, I'm upgrading my chisels from Harbor Freight to Nerex. Is there anything I need to do to keep them from corroding over time? It's a good question. So, the Nerex ones are going to be a much higher quality steel. And, I'm not an expert metallurgist, but that does have a lot to do with, or at least some anyway, to do with how corrosion resistant metal is. So you got that going for you already. Nerex are great chisels. I've actually almost got a set several times. But I'm not 100% sure that, I'm not 100% sure the environment you're in, like humidity and if you're in a more damp area or not. But something that I do, like on hand planes and stuff to keep them from rusting, I'll just wipe on a coat of paste wax. Just wipe that on there, and that gives kind of a barrier to moisture. WD-40 is another thing I've done before. I'll spray a little bit on a rag and wipe that on there. You don't want to use a lot because you don't want it like sopping in it or anything, because you don't want that on your material when you go to, to do some work with those things. Something that I do, let me see if I can get this out of here, which is not super fancy. I have my chisels just in this leather deal. These aren't fancy chisels or anything. In fact, you guys have seen, some of you have seen this one before. I think this is a Harbor Freight chisel. I found it on the side of the road. But, it's been in here and it hasn't corroded. And, it's got a little bit of, I don't know, a little tiny bit around here. But that was on there when I got it, or when I found it. But these other ones, they're not corroded. I feel like this leather, which has been oiled, not only protects the edge, right? It keeps you from getting the tips banged up, but it also, I think, the oils in the leather help protect it from moisture as well. Now, depending on the environment, that could go both ways. It could trap moisture in there if you're in a really damp area and maybe cause it to rust more. But you know, just something like that has been working for me. May not work well in all areas. I don't know. I haven't tested it. I live in a very dry environment, so most of the time rust is not, it's not a big deal. A lot of times, I wish I had a hygrometer out here to tell you the current humidity right now, but I don't. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can, if I can remember. But I've had good luck with, you know, just like the paste wax or WD-40 to protect the tools. Another thing that I do is, you know, when you buy something and you get that little pack of desiccant, you know, that most of us probably just throw away. I keep that stuff. You know, these little guys, I always keep these. I'm sure that they wear out after a while, but I just throw them in drawers where, you know, I have things that I don't want to rust. I don't know how much of a difference that makes, but that's another thing that I do. I probably have some in here with my chisels. Yeah, there's one. I can't get it. It's buried. There's one at the back of the drawer that I keep in there, just in hopes that it does something. Let me see if I can get our humidity here. See if I can find that. But that's, I mean, that's what I do. You know, I don't do a ton of rust prevention. You know, a coat of paste wax goes a long ways, I think, or WD-40, that sort of thing. You know, just a light spritz on a rag, just wipe it down when, you know, when you're done using it. I think that would work pretty well. Sam says leather dye looks similar to smoker's fingers. Sam Packin says WD-40 works well. Yeah, WD-40 is great. Magnus is here. Magnus says, hey, best wishes. Best Wednesday wishes from Sweden. Right on, Magnus. How's everybody over in Sweden? That's awesome. I would love to visit Sweden someday. I have, if you go back far enough, I have ancestry from that area, which I think is kind of cool. Sam says silica packs. Yes, that's what they're called. Will says, we're humid here in Missouri. I think I'll keep a rag and occasionally wipe them with WD-40. Thank you. Yes, that's what I would do. I think that would work fine. Yes, Missouri, you're going to get a little more of that Midwest humidity. Definitely more than what we get here. Oh, I forgot I was trying to get our humidity here. If this thing will come up. I'm just going to give this a minute. Edad Pops is here. Says, morning, Jeff. Coffee time. Right there with you, my friend. Cheers. Robert says, just got in a DeWalt brand jump box with a built-in air compressor to carry my vehicle in case of a low battery or low tire. I've seen those, and they seem pretty helpful. Let's see what it says right now here. Well, it says we're at 41%. Really? That seems mighty high. That seems quite high, actually. But, you know, that's what it says right now. Usually we're down in that 20% range. Let's see. Rick says, Sweden is a beautiful place. I imagine it is. Magnus says, just fine, thanks. 5:30 in the evening here, pitch black, and just chilling on the couch, watching good content. Right on. Yeah, 5:30, it's pitch black here as well at 5:30 in the evening. The darn time change really messes with you, for sure. Magnus says you should definitely visit in the summer. I would love to. And we got another super chat from Will. Right on, Will. Awesome. Thank you so much, Will. I appreciate that. Coffee fund. Right on. Thank you. Right on. Thanks, Will. Appreciate it. Super chat. Sam says, don't forget to like. It's free. It is free. Yeah, if you're enjoying this, hit that thumbs up button right now before you even think about logging off. Hit that thumbs up button right now. Tell the tubes that this is like the funnest little hangout, workshop, talk space on the internet. Yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple. Right on, right on. Just click it real quick. Hit that thumbs up. Tell everyone it's cool. Anyway, Rick says we're about 98% here on the West Coast. It's a rainforest. Yeah, we're rarely at 98%. I mean, even when it's raining, I don't think it's 98%. Robert says, I have an app on my computer that shows the weather stats. Here, it shows my humidity at 51%. I'm going to see what my weather thingy says. Sometimes it says the humidity. Does it say that? No. Oh, wait. This says 16. It says 16%. That sounds more right. Why does this other thing say 41? I probably did something wrong. I'm probably on the wrong setting. I'm going to try that again here in a minute. Edad says, I thought we were going away from the time change. Maybe. Yeah, you know, I hear that every year, but we never do. So I don't know what's going on. Every year it seems like somebody says that, but it never does. Robert says, thanks for the reminder for the likes. You're welcome, Robert. Raymond's here. Raymond says, good morning. Good morning, Raymond. How are you doing this fine Wednesday? You working on any projects? Magnus says, does the super sticker thing donate money to the channel, or am I just buying a weird image from YouTube? No, it is a way to support the channel. It's not something that I really talk about a whole lot because I don't know. I just don't. It is a way. It's just a way to support the channel. It definitely does help the channel. You know, helps shop projects and all that kind of thing. So yeah, you're not just buying a weird picture. It does come to the channel. So just in case you're wondering. That'd be kind of messed up if you just got a weird picture thing that came up there. That'd be kind of messed up. No, excuse me. It does come back to the shop. So it's a legitimate thing. Sam says, my Alexa and my laptop are 1 foot apart, but shows completely different temperatures. I'm not surprised. Not surprised. Robert says that meter may just work correctly if it's in contact with a piece of wood. That is what it's for. It's a moisture meter, but it does have a sensor that will read the ambient air temperature and humidity and all that. It might be because I just pulled it out of the box and it hasn't had time to acclimate. Backwoods Boy's here. Backwoods Boy says, hello, everyone. What's up, Backwoods Boy? How things going in your world today? What are you working on? Bit of a lag there. Sorry if that affected your thing. And Magnus with the super chat. Right on, Magnus. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Cheers, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Gotta stay stocked. I'm trying to fix it here. Bear with me, guys. Sorry. This is. Hopefully everything's okay. I'm sorry about that. That was very awkward and unprofessional. I don't know what was going on, but I did notice yesterday the internet at the house all of a sudden seemed to just go out. And I don't know if that's what was going on. So sorry about that, but thank you for hanging on there through that little mishap we had. So now I'm running off of a hotspot off of the phone. Hopefully that works okay. Sometimes it seems like the speeds there are good. Sometimes it's not. I don't know. I don't get the whole deal over that 5G, but to me it doesn't seem all that fast. But anyway, deep breath, sip of coffee, and then I'm going to rewind here and we're going to get back to the Oso Oil. Everything's okay. I don't know why stuff like that stresses me out, but it does. Anyway, Oso Oil is a hard wax finishing oil. Super easy to apply. You basically wipe on a coat and buff it out pretty much. It's super easy to apply. I think it looks cool. You can get it in different colors. I think it's a great option for a lot of projects, like I mentioned. The thing that I don't like about it necessarily is it's not a building finish, right? So you don't put on different layers and the finish gets thicker. Like if you're spraying on a lacquer or polyurethane or something like that, where the more coats you put on, the more the thicker the finish is. It doesn't work that way. So if you're trying to apply it to something, I don't know, like a guitar, for instance, it doesn't offer any protection really. Now, depending on your project, that might be just fine. I've got a ton of things that I've made where I don't really need that kind of a high build finish. But the Osmo doesn't do that. It won't build up a thick protective layer. I think that's the downside kind of to the Osmo. But as long as you can work with that, I think it's a viable finish. Again, another downside, I guess, is the cost. It's really expensive. If I want to finish that I can just apply, I mean, I could just use boiled linseed oil and then a coat of paste wax, and it's basically the same thing, I think. Chemically it might not be, but it's a lot cheaper than the Osmo. But I liked it. I have a guitar that I finished with it. I need to get back to putting that together one of these days. I love the feel for a neck. I think it feels awesome. A lot of times I don't like a big, thick, sticky finish on a neck. I like just an oil of some sort, and I think it feels awesome. It has this kind of a silky sort of feel, which I think is pretty cool. I did a body and a neck. The body is just some kind of reclaimed softwood. I don't know if it's pine or no, it's I think it's possibly hemlock, but it's soft, so it could get dented and dinged up, but I think it feels cool. It just depends on what exactly you're wanting to do with the finish. Hope that makes sense. All right, I'm going to catch back up with your guys' comments here. Sorry about that. We had a bit of a mishap. Right on. Robert says, would you maybe hold up the leatherwork belts once again? I'd stepped away to get a cup of coffee. Well, absolutely. Yeah, if you guys remember last week, I was talking about I had to do some leather work and make some new belts for my daughter. So I got these put together yesterday. Just just some simple leather belts that she's going to use for her horse shows and stuff like that. You know, they require you a lot of times that you have to wear a belt, and some classes require or say that you should wear a buckle, so she's going to wear some of the buckles that she won. Basically two kind of the same, just a little bit different here with some of the shiny bits. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. Got these knocked together yesterday. This one's completely done. This one's almost done. I just need to oil the leather, and yeah, we're just going to do a little short video on this. You know, just making some simple belts. But that's what I've been working on. Well, yesterday and a little bit of today. Then I got to get it edited because I got to put the video together. Yeah, they're just kind of fun. You know, just some fun projects that I know are gonna be used. Making some stuff for the family. I'm catching back up. I'm catching back up with the comments here, so hang in there. Oh no. All right. Do your job. Tony's here. Tony says, morning, sunshine. Let's see. I'm catching back up here. This is going through the comments. You guys were having troubles along with me. Bad connection. Mike says, work gets in the way of live streams. Dang it, Mike. I know. Why is it not scrolling? Robert said, thinks something happened at my end. Yeah, it was my end, I think. Sam says buffering. There, got it fixed. Dallas says maybe he would type something if he could see the comments. Yes, I could see the comments when it would load. So yeah, if that ever happens, I will do my best to let you guys know. Mike says a project for the cable might be a good thing. Yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to scroll down, but now it's not letting me scroll very well for some reason. Fly, do you see that? Okay, Robert says belts look good. Right on, thank you, Robert. And Paul's here. Paul says, sorry, just got the opportunity to get here now. Hello, all. Good morning, Paul. You got here right when we just had a little bit of a technical difficulty. Everything froze up, and it was kind of a disaster for a minute. And it's still not very good. And I'm using the hotspot on my phone, which is supposed to be 5G, but yeah. Yep, he says it's out again. Yeah, it froze up there a second ago. Sam says you can make medium-sized jigs for your daughter to make things with you. Yeah, I try to get her out here and working on stuff with me when I can. It's definitely the highlight of the day when I can. Rick says, yeah, it's buffering a lot. Have to leave now to drive a half hour to take in the car. Right on, Rick. Well, go get that car taken care of. I don't know what's going on with our internet here. Paul says video is lagging a lot. Yes, it is here too. I just switched from my home Wi-Fi to phone hotspot, which is supposed to be fast, but obviously it's not. Oh, sorry about the extra noise. Well, you might not be hearing the extra noise because I got this got this thing on. Robert says you might need to check with your internet provider about your home connection. Yeah, I might give them a call because, like I said, yesterday I did notice that it was doing some very strange things. Maybe they got something going on. But now I'm not even using that. I'm using phone connection. So I don't know. I can't explain it. Mike says, do you still use your neck router carving jig? I have not used that in a little while. I don't really have a good excuse as to why. I just haven't. Yeah, that's the short answer of it. I need to get it. I need to get it back out. Do a little fine tuning. Last time I used it, I felt like I wanted to recontour the cams to get a little bit different shape. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good excuse. Maybe, actually, I probably do. I haven't done an electric salad body in a while. And that's really all that it's designed for. It could be modified. With some modifications, you could use it for a lot more than that. But mine specifically is only set up for solid body electric necks. Mike says, thinking about building one. I think they're super cool. Yeah. Sam says, maybe your internet provider is using Morse code rather than 5G. I think that's all they use is Morse codes. Robert says, technology gremlins? The darn things will drive a person crazy. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. The technology gremlins. They're always sneaking in and messing with stuff. But it seems like now it's laggy from what I can see. But at least it's sort of hanging in there. Dallo says, Starlink is waiting for you. You know, I've been considering that. Yeah, I might. It's a bit of a cost up front. It was like $500 or something like that. But I've heard that it works great, and people even in my area have it, and they say the same thing. So it's not out of the question. Mike says, thanks. Need to get back to click. Are you hanging up on me, Mike? Is that what I'm hearing? Right on. So let's see what's coming up next here in the shop while I'm waiting for the finish on the acoustic to dry. Well, these leather belts, I got to get the video edited for that. And then I haven't completely decided yet what I'm going to do. I mentioned a while back that I wanted to do some floating shelves. I still kind of want to get to those, and I might do those next. I also have a big log out here that I need to get milled up with the chainsaw mill. So let me ask you guys, is that anything interesting? I mean, me just slicing logs with a chainsaw mill? Is that an interesting video, or should I just plan to do that offline? I don't know. I guess it depends on what's inside it. I want to get them sliced up though before we get too far into winter. That way they can be under cover and not get soaked in with snow. Robert said, bye, Mike. Sam says, problem with Starlight. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to go there. Magnus says, what's the thing in the back? Board with bottle caps? Do you mean that? That right there? Is that the thing you're talking about? Board. Let me know, Magnus, if that's what you're talking about. Otherwise, I don't see board with bottle caps. That's the only thing I can think of, and I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Is it that thing? Magnus says yes. Okay, so let me show you here. I'm gonna just hop up for a second. I have a. Ooh, I'm like way out of frame. Hang on. We'll sort of see you guys. This is. I have a video on the channel about making this. It's just a. It's an odd-shaped piece of wood, of course, but I have router bits stored in there. I make these 3D printed inserts. That's the green things that hold both half-inch shank and quarter-inch shank router bits. That way, you know, they're not clanging around and banging into each other in a drawer or something, and I can easily get to, you know, whatever one I'm trying to use. That's just kind of a fun little project. If you scroll back on the channel, I have a video that piece of wood, filled in a bunch of stuff with epoxy. And then I just put some of those inserts in there. I don't know why this thing is not operating like it normally is. Franklin says, yes, milling up a log would be cool to watch. Awesome, right on. Thank you, Franklin. Now that gives me some ideas, and I probably will film it. So there you go, Magnus. Hopefully that shows you. Hopefully that makes sense what that is. But yeah, if you want to scroll back, it's probably been a couple years since I made that. But there's a video on there if you want to see a little bit more in depth. You can find it on there. Sam says the Marios mic is disconnected. It still works here. Magnus says, I'll definitely check it out. Right on. Robert says, Matt Cremona started out using a chainsaw mill. Yep, yes he did, and then he built that giant one. Yeah, it's been a while since I've used the mill, and these logs have been sitting out there. I started milling one of them on the channel like, I don't know, 2 years ago, year and a half ago. I need to get it done because it's now developed a bunch of cracks. I don't know what kind of material is going to be inside it, but yeah, I want to get it sliced up. There might be a little bit of material in there that's usable. Dallas says, I like that shape always. Look, a cool decoration for the live stream. Yeah, I thought it was a cool shape too, mainly because it's sort of like if you turn it, it kind of looks like a fish. Sam says, when you walked away, the voice got quieter and distant. Interesting. I'm gonna have to experiment with it. I wonder if there's a chance that this is somehow not going through the iPad. Maybe it's not doing anything. Interesting. I gotta test that again. I tested it all yesterday. Everything seemed like it was working. Here's a way to check. Does this sound any louder? Does it sound any louder? I'm talking right up close. Now I'm talking not so close. Interesting. Dallas says when you stepped to the corner, it was disconnected. Interesting. Sam says that time it did. Weird. That's weird. Huh. I wonder. Come loose. Technology, huh? That's weird. I don't know. I'm just, well, thank you guys for letting me experiment and test stuff while we're hanging out. And thank you for bearing with me during technical internet difficulties. You guys are the best. You really are. Interesting. So everybody says it was louder that time. Huh. I don't know. Okay, I will continue to test. I just noticed that the cable that plugs into the iPad is a little bit loose. It's a kind of a cheap knockoff cable. I'll have to try like a good cable and see if that works. I thought this was going to be a decent one, but maybe it's just loose enough that it loses connection. Maybe when I wiggled it to angle it over there, maybe it lost the connection for a second. I don't know. Right on. Sam says, Jeff, we don't mind, bud. We're good. I know you don't, but still. I just want to say thank you for being tolerant of my issues. Right on, right on. Cool. All right, well, you guys got anything else? We're at the top of the hour for sure. And about time to wrap this one up for the week. As I go sit down to edit a little bit of leatherwork stuff. Hopefully, by this time next week, I will have, I might be back on the acoustic, getting back to the level sanding and start getting everything polished up. So I'm kind of just using this time, like I said, to catch up on a few projects that I've been needing to get to. You know, I'm kind of happy to have these leather belts done. So my daughter's got a show in a couple weeks, so she's going to be putting these things to use. Robert says it was crackling a bit when you were messing with the audio receiver. I'm not surprised. It probably is, because I was touching it. Paul says, have a great week, guys. Sam says, thanks for the fantastic stream today, Jeff. Sam says, be safe, everyone. You guys, thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, Dallas says, I bought a Shinto saw file for shaping the neck. I'm going to do that after making the fretboard and gluing it on. Quite difficult for me. Dallo, I think the Shinto is a great tool. I feel like you're going to, I think you're going to enjoy it. So yeah, next time, let me know what your thoughts are on it, because it really does work quite well. And I think it's a pretty reasonable cost. For the cost of that thing and how well it works, I think it's a great tool. Dallas says, have a good week all. Harry Dude says, cheers, dude. Stay well, folks. Magnus says, thanks for a good stream. Looking forward to more videos. Right on, guys. Again, we're every Wednesday, 9 a.m. MST. I'll be going live. So do the math, figure it out where it is, wherever you are in this great big world of ours. And I'm super thankful for all of you guys that we can hang out from. You guys are all over the world, and we can just hang out together like we're just sitting around a campfire or something like that. And it's awesome. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out here at Home Built Workshop. So try to get a video up every weekend, so be on the lookout for that, as well as the weekly live stream. So right on. Thanks, guys. Stay safe. Stay well. And Robert says, sorry we're having issues with the stream today. Looking forward to the next one. Everyone stay safe and healthy. Right on. And with that, I'm going to say thanks for tuning in. Like I already said, get out in your shops, build some cool things, make some cool projects, have fun, be safe. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Oh, I hit the button. There we go. Later, guys.